Okay, today we're going to start by learning about a new center, and as I mentioned on Tuesday, it's going to get exponentially worse because we're going to throw a completely different approach into this problem. And you're going to struggle keeping track of the different things and what you're supposed to do for each of them. So I'm going to start with a triangle, and I'm going to label it triangle ABC. This one, instead of, if you'll recall on Tuesday, we did perpendicular bisectors first, and then we've applied it to a triangle. This one, we're going to dive right into the triangle. Michael, could you give me some coordinates for A, please?
5 and 30.
Ooh, look at you getting all fancies in your pantsies. I like it. Okay. Danny, you got B. Where do you want B to be?
-6 and 12.
Okay. And Robbie, give me C.
Okay, how about 1, 1?
Okay.
Uncreated.
Love it. Now, there is a slim possibility that that does not make a triangle. Okay. In other words, there is a small fraction of a chance that the 3 points we just generated are on the same line. The odds of that happening are incredible. But we'll pretend that it's a triangle. Go from there. Okay, so we're starting with a randomly generated triangle. We're going to find our second center. The second center, by the way, is called the centroid. The centroid, by definition, is the POI of the medians. Now that creates medians. That creates a problem because you don't know what a median is. So, next step, median. All right, I'll give you a chance to get caught up. A median is a segment connecting a vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side. I'm going to talk while you're writing. You can already see where this is going to create problems. When we did perpendicular bisectors, you had to find a midpoint. That's great. Then you did a perpendicular. Fantastic. Now with a centroid, you have to do a median, which also involves midpoints. That could be good or that could be bad, depending on whether or not you understand what you're doing. And, like the perpendicular bisector, we don't need all 3 of them. We just need 2. Okay, so for no particular reason, I'm going to work with side AB and side AC, which means I need some midpoints. So I'm going to put this midpoint here, and I'm going to call that M. And in a different color, I'm going to choose this midpoint and call it J. Now, for those of you that can't visualize what's going on, let me show you. Segment, we want it in green. We're going to go from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. And from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. And that little bugger right there is the centroid. We'll call it Q, because I already used C. Be careful not to repeat letters. Okay, so let's start with some baby steps here. If I asked you to find the equation of the line MC, mongoose cat, what would you do? Go, Logan.
I would find the slope of line AB and take the opposite, and that would be the slope of line segment MC, and then use the point of C11 and put it into an equation.
Would that be a perpendicular bisector? Not a median?
The point,
In other words, does JB look like it's perpendicular to aardvark cat?
is not perpendicular.
It's not, no. Juliana?
I think you'd find the midpoint, so M,
Yep.
and then you would use M and 1, 1, or C, and then you find the slope in between.
Beautiful. Excellent. Okay, so you might want to put in your notes, no flopposite. We're not using a flopposite here. There's nothing here that's perpendicular. Okay? We're going to come back to this in a second. I want to show you, go back to the program we used the other day and show you what this looks like, because we still have to look at the problem of when is the centroid inside and when is the centroid outside and when is it on the triangle, just like we did for the circumcenter. Okay? We're going to preview. Here's my triangle ABC. I don't have the coordinates here. I'm just going to show you what we need to do. This one's a little easier to visualize. So boom, midpoints, boom, segments. There's my centroid. Okay. What kind of triangle is that? It's acute. So if it's acute, we know already just from the setup of the picture that the centroid is inside the triangle. Guesses. If I turn that into an obtuse triangle, where do you think the centroid's going to go? Outside. Makes perfect sense, right? No. So where's the centroid when it's obtuse? Inside. Okay. What if I make A a right angle? Where's the centroid going to go? I'm sorry, where?
Inside.
Still inside, right. Okay. So that was easy. No matter what you do, the centroid is always inside the triangle. Next to that information in your notes, I'm going to give you a couple cool properties about the centroid. The biggest thing is that the centroid is the balancing point of the triangle. In other words, if I took that triangle and I cut it out of the board, I take the glass on the front of that board and I cut it out, I could balance that triangle on my fingertip at the centroid. Also known as the center of gravity. The centroid is the center of gravity of that triangle. Agree with that?
Would that mean that it's just the center, complete center of the triangle?
Well, no, because we're going to talk about 4 different centers, so I don't want to just call it the center of the triangle, because we also have circumcenter and all these others. But it's the center of gravity, it's the balancing point, but not necessarily just the plain old center. Okay? No matter what we do, we cannot get that centroid to come outside of the triangle. It just doesn't work. Okay? Questions on this before I put this away and get back to the calculations? We're good? Okay. That goes away. We get rid of that. We come back here. All right. The nice thing about Tuesday is that you understand the basic premise of how we're solving these problems. So Juliana told us how to find the equation of mongoose cat. If we use that same strategy, we can find the equation of jaguar badger. Then find Q the same way we found the circumcenter by solving this system. Okay? Does that make sense? Beautiful. Do it. While you're working, I'll put the answer on the board, or part of the answer, I should say.
You're so good. I'm nervous, guys. Okay, so we find the midpoint of C. So we do 1 plus 5 or 2. Wait, 5 plus 1. This is the next one. So 5 minus. I'm going to do 1. You get 6 over 2. So which one? Oh wait, oh my, wait, this. Okay, start. Okay, so looking for F. How do you do it?
I just did it and then I found that this is the I just did that 25 for that.
Oh, I got 3 and then I have 30. I did 30. Wait, so it's not just 3 divided by. And that is the thing that says F. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now. So we have AC and then potential slope. Oh, so we're gonna take for you could do B to J yeah, we do AC. Wait, no, because that point there, so you can. Did you do with this? So we have to do like.
Sorry, I'm crying. It's the calculator. The calculator's gotta be.
I didn't do JC, I did 43.
That's a good start. Okay, good. Put that together into your first equation and then do the other one and then life is great. Whoa!
Oh, I think you have to time what's your gonna be the guys, I don't fraction.
Wait, let's do it the other way.
Yeah, no,
You have to multiply.
so are you doing with the J is
You got 7 minutes. We just see that.
Yeah, I don't know. 12 plus 3.
But I didn't get that.
Dude, no, I didn't. It's simple.
That's not what he said. Are you with me? Yeah. I was talking to you.
Oh, what?
That's why it's so.
Real help because they're not the same height.
You can try it, see if it ends up.
Okay, this is already getting very messy.
Then what's the other one? I miss. Yeah. And is it and that's like the MC. What'd you get?
This is.
Okay, so now we're gonna make an equation, but we're gonna have to do.
I have no idea what they want to do.
This is not right.
What did you get for?
Just grinding?
You add one.
Anybody have it yet?
We're close.
Okay, just checking.
Keep
going. It appears people are doing the right thing.
Wait. Right, so we're being mine's positive. Mine's
The more I get this hold on, I need to see if this is even anywhere. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Other than incredibly nasty. I don't think that mentioned mine. Is that X?
Yes.
Wait, that's what you figured. No, here's something.
What do you two chuckle this guy?
It's gonna cancel out.
That's
I know, we know. They're gonna cancel out. But the slopes are burning. What's 7? What did you get for your 2 intercepts? 7. Yeah. So then it's gonna be X gonna be.
You should just name the first floor after you should. What do you got? So what is that, J and that's M? Good, now find the slope. And then put them together and do equations and solve.
No, but guys, we got y. So we put 0 in for x. Or y.
I'm not gonna multiply
Or
everything.
j. You get x over 8.
We don't want to mess with the
Bro, what? 0.
What? Got it? You got what?
0 for x.
Okay, what'd you get for Y?
40. No, we got 43. Are you kidding?
I was saying.
Oh, God. Wait, I might have gotten it. Wait, no.
Couple more minutes and then we're gonna come back together and discuss this bad boy.
Wait, I might have gotten it. Well, actually,
What'd you get?
Oh, you're doing that for x. That's going to cancel out.
That doesn't match my pattern.
I got it.
maybe. Wait, no, the answer is that way.
Y equals negative.
Yeah, so that cancels out one.
Still seems so wrong.
Yeah. Wait, then you
plowing your way through that ugly system.
She won the slide after.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh my goodness. Amazing. And you had to like kill somebody to get there? You had to knife a guy in the hallway or something? Okay. Santa brought it for you? Santa's got the connections with TS.
Yeah.
Swifty.
I feel like this is
It's so cool.
that's 780.
Are you nervous about wearing it? Like somebody's gonna jump you and take it?
Like a legit.
Well, I've just
Back in the days, you could defend yourself. Get away with your sweater. Good job.
Our intercept problem.
this seems wrong.
I got. Oh, I didn't see Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Or you can just do this one.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to make it again. I got wires.
See, that's not bad as mine.
Look at what I
I got 700. These ones are
Okay, I just got 200.
Okay, let's stop and come back together. And I know some of you are very close to finishing, but before we actually dive into this problem, I wanted to talk a little bit about my answer and how I kind of deceived you. Okay. The correct answer, by the way, is 0, 43/3. So if you want to jot that down and finish your work and check your answers, that's great. Now, let me explain why I wrote my answer for Q in that form, which I think many of you will be happy about. Do you agree with me that it's a lot easier to solve problems when you know the answer you're working towards?
Yes.
Okay. The Centroid has a unique property that allows you to figure out the answer before you get there. So you're saying to yourself, self, why the heck am I doing all this algebra when I can just simply find the answer? Part of this lesson is not only doing the algebra and not only finding the centroid, but it's incorporating those two things, knowing what you're supposed to do and being able to do the algebra. So I'll tell you a little secret, because I like you guys better than I do fifth block. Don't tell them, okay? You can easily find the centroid by finding the average of the 3 x coordinates, find the average of the 3 y coordinates. So notice, 5 plus 1 plus -6 is 0. 0 divided by 3 is 0. So I wrote it this way because if I just put one box there, it would be a giveaway. And what's 0 over 3? 0. Okay? 30 plus 1 plus 12 is 43 divided by 3. Okay, so, hold on. So what's going to happen is, when assessment time comes around and you're taking a quiz, one of you is going to get to the centroid problem, maybe multiple of you, and you're just going to take the average of the x's, average of the y's, and say you're done with it. I don't really care about the answer. I care about the process to get to that answer. But if I was doing it, what I would do, find the answer first, and start doing all the work. When I get done with all the work, if my answer doesn't match the answer to what I know it's supposed to be, then I screwed up and I can go back and check it. Okay? Does that make sense? Yes. Beautiful. So let's look at the algebra that's associated with this problem. Walking around the room, I saw that almost every group was doing the correct work. It was just taking longer for some than the others.
Wait, sorry, I was just confused on the answer thing again. Can you explain what it
Take the average of the x's, average of the y's. Okay, so when we're doing a midpoint, we find the average of the x's, average of the y's, right? It's the same thing, but there's only 2 points, so you divide by 2. In a triangle, there's 3 points, so you divide by 3. Okay, let me finish the algebra. I'll put up another example and I'll show you how to cheat.
You just add them up.
Add them up, divide by 3. Okay? All right, so you'll notice again, hyping on this idea. I started with a purple triangle. I created one median that's in green. I created another median that's in blue. So I'm going to work in green right now and start by finding m. Well, m is located at 5 plus -6 divided by 2 and 30 plus 12 divided by 2, which puts m at -1/2, comma 21. Am I good there? Beautiful. Now I need the slope of MC. 1 minus 21 over 1 plus 1/2 is -20 over 3/2. Okay. Now let's talk about how to handle fractions within fractions. One way to do it is to just type it into your calculator. -20 divided by parentheses, 3 divided by 2 close parentheses. Convert it back to a fraction. However, you should also know that dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So dividing by 3/2 is the same thing as multiplying by 2/3, and we get -40 over 3. Put that together, and I get, oh, by the way, notice I know 2 points on MC. You could choose to use M when you put your equation together, or you can choose to use C. But as I keep saying over and over again, work smarter, not harder. Which point should I choose, M or C?
C.
Why?
Well, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's got ones in it. It's easy peasy. Y minus 1 equals -40 times x minus 1. Put a rectangle around that. And again, there's a reason why I had you write in your notes, no flopposites. Because some of you are going to take that slope and make a flopposite of it. Don't for this. And you're staying with the actual slope because you calculate directly. Switch over to the blue. I need the location of j. J would be found as 5 plus 1 over 2, comma, 30 plus 1 over 2, which puts j at 3, comma, 31/2. How'd I do there? Good. Then I need the slope of JB, which would be 31/2 minus 12 over 3 minus -6. 24, 7/2 over 9, which would be 7/18. How'd I do? I'm good? Excellent. I need a little bit more working room, so we'll cheat up here. Move this up. I get, I'll use B. Y minus 12 equals 7/18 times x plus 6. Woohoo! How am I doing so far? Good? Then what do I do?
Set those things.
Solve the system. Okay? And because I have my vertex or my centroid label as white, I'm going to switch to white. Okay? I'm not going to solve the system. Okay? Because I don't want to get out a calculator, I don't want to look at the fractions, basically I'm too lazy. And you know where you should be going. But again, if I'm solving this centroid problem or any centroid problem, the first thing I'm going to do is look at this. Well, you know what? Let's do another one. In orange. Whoa! What the heck? Brandon, give me 3 coordinates quickly.
120, 5, 6.
Wait, hold on. 120,
5,
5, 6,
6. 8, 2.
8, 2. And then we'll call the centroid C. That just disappeared. C. Okay, where's the centroid?
In the middle.
Good. That does answer my question. Let me rephrase my question. What are the coordinates of the centroid of triangle XYZ?
15 divided by 3, so 5. X is 5.
14 over 3.
You added wrong, Logan.
Did I add them all? Oh my god, I did it.
14 thirds, comma?
28 over 3. Add the x's, add the y, like divide by 3, and 3 quarters. That is really
Again, so before I even attack this problem, I'm going to figure out where the centroid is and cheat and figure out what my answer should be. Then I'm going to go through all this work we did on the previous slide. Start going crazy and doing all kinds of algebra. And again,
What was the answer?
when you start working with this, now you have two centers to worry about and they're operating completely differently. You're going to get confused which is which. And when you're doing it initially, it's going to be pretty easy. Tonight, you're only going to do centroid problems. So you had the circumcenter stuff. Julie, I'm going to see you. Wait 1 second. You had the circumcenter stuff from Tuesday. All you did was circumcenter. Now, all you're going to do is centroid stuff. You just have to remember the stuff you're not doing from the circumcenter. Where it's going to get ugly is after we talk about the other two centers, and then I just ask you to do one of the four. Keeping everything straight is going to be a little confusing. Later on, after we've learned about all four centers, I do have a summary sheet for you that will help. Okay, but for now, you got to rely on your notes. You'll get more comfortable with it the more practice you have. Yeah.
So, on the second problem that we did, would that be like all you need to do?
No. You got to do all this.
Okay.
I'm just showing you how to cheat to know where you're supposed
So
to
is
go.
that like the guess, like the check thing? Like,
Correct.
so you still have to do the work, but that's like you're checking to make sure you did it right.
Think of this as looking at the answer keys I post.
Okay.
You go and see the answer. Does your answer match that answer? Great. If it doesn't, you screwed up somewhere. Or Canuck, you screwed up. Right. Okay. Any other questions? Lovely. Okay. Let me get a couple things organized here.
Is Ducky against donuts?
I don't.
What's up with that?
It's a great question. I don't know.
I